All right, guys, let's get started. Day two. We have 20 seconds before the market opens. Let's see what we are going to take today. On our watch list today, we have a few. We have Nvidia, Shopify, Apple, Baba, and that's about all the ones I'm potentially going to be playing. So one of those four. So the market's open. Let's see what we are going to take today. I'm going to wait for a break. I definitely think I want to take Nvidia, so let me keep an eye on Nvidia first. And my target for Nvidia to the upside is going to be 177 followed by 180. So let's see if it breaks our box. Switch back to my regular watch list here. 172.63, so it broke to the upside. Let me come down to a lower time frame just so that I can keep a little close overnight. I'm gonna wait 2 to 3 minutes before I jump into anything, just because I don't want to get caught on any whipsaws. Baba's breaking out. Amazon's breaking out. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to load properly here. All right, so we have Nvidia on top of our box for sure. Let me just give it a second here. No rush. No need to rush into any trades. I don't want to get caught going in the wrong direction, so I am going to give it a few seconds here. A minute or two. So as you can see on the 1 minute, it's on top of this 50 MA. And then we adjust on the fly. So basically what I'm doing here is watching it. Now I want to see it break this high. If it breaks that high, I'm taking it. And my targets, my first target for Nvidia is going to be 177.3. All right, Shopify broke to the downside, so let me jump over to Shopify. Let me take a look. Looking at it, we have negative divergence on the 10-minute. The market, the tick is falling. It opened above 1349. The VIX is rising. So we're keeping an eye on that. The markets themselves are not doing much as of right now.
Your price is way too high, you need to cut it.
6, so bullish sign. So let's see what the markets have in store for us today. All right, so we got Shopify here. It broke to the downside. My targets are 300. It's my first target on the downside. Nvidia, still choppy. Let's see. We have the RSI on the 1 minute here at below 20. On the 10 minute, it's at 23. So I may want to start to rally from here. Let me see if I can get some divergence on the.
Your price is way too high, you need to cut it.
All right, Shopify broke low. I'm going to go ahead and take one. Expensive. All right, I'll do one of these. See if we can get up to 650. All right, NVIDIA. I'm gonna go ahead and go for NVIDIA as well. Broke low. Once we're in, we'll switch the charts so that we can watch both of them at the same time. So NVIDIA, I'm going to take the 172.50s here. I'm going to take one, confirm, send. All right, NVIDIA, we are in. Target 167. So for NVIDIA to the downside, we are looking for a target of 167.6 is our first target. It's pausing at this 200 MA. Shopify is getting away from us. Let's adjust that entry order. Take these ones. Let's see if we can take this one. We're in Shopify, we're in NVIDIA. Let's monitor both. Let me switch over to the 10-minute chart on both of them here. I'm gonna go ahead and set my target orders here, create closing order. Our 1% for today is only $12. Shopify, oh wow, are we already up? Yep, we're already up 70 bucks. So let me set my target to the pivot here, 298, let's say 7. Shopify target. Our first target for Shopify is 323, 300 on the downside. So let me go ahead and set that at 780, confirm, send. All right, NVIDIA. Also, let's go back to NVIDIA. Oh, let me unlink this. Let's leave this at Shopify. All right, for NVIDIA, let's go ahead and set our closing order here at, we entered at 313. Let's get out at 450, should put us 167. Let's see, let's do $5. 550, there you go, 550. Confirm and send. All right, so both of them are just slightly above. Shopify is bringing my limit order up, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that. Let me go ahead and change that. You saw my limit order keeps getting pushed up because the value keeps increasing. So I'm just gonna push that down a little bit. I wanna be a little bit closer to that pivot when I get closed out. So I'm gonna cancel replace. I'm gonna put it at 820, 850. Confirm and send. If Shopify starts to turn around here and it hits this high here, I may close it out. Just to, I'm already well above my target for the day, so no need to rush. Everything is pretty. Actually, you know what? Let me switch over to my 10-minute chart. Let me make sure, because the markets do look like they want to rally today, so I don't want to be fighting that. What do we have? We have the tick is coming down initially, but the markets overall want to push higher, and the VIX is coming down. So what I may want to do is just get out of these, collect my profits, and then wait for the reversal to the upside. That's all it is. Shopify on the 10-minute is looking pretty solid though. It may hit my, it may hit the pivot and then reverse from that point on. So I'm gonna let it run down. As you can see here, it's definitely pushing lower. So we're gonna let it do what it wants to do. So let's go ahead and collect our profits on Shopify. And let's see what NVIDIA wants to do. NVIDIA's having a hard time breaking below 170.102, which actually was where I had my box in this morning, if you remember. Pretty much that's where I had it, right around that area. So it's having a hard time breaking that level. And if it continues to have a hard time, let me see where the next 10-minute candle opens. But if it doesn't continue lower, I may close it out on a time stop and just get out and be done with NVIDIA for the day, or wait for a potential reversal here. But I don't want to get caught on a massive upswing, but I'm already up nearly 200 bucks. So we're going to call it a day here shortly in just under 15 minutes, hopefully. Let's see what happens here with NVIDIA. It's the only one giving us a hard time right now. All right, let's go back to NVIDIA. NVIDIA's giving us a hard time here. Let me get out of it. I still think it'll hit the limit, but because, again, we're growing a small account, I want to be quick to trigger to make sure that we don't lose any money and that we are collecting our profits. So I want to be quick to the trigger, and I'm paying attention to these very, very closely. That's why I only want to open no more than 2. Because if I am going to get stopped out, I want to make sure I get out early on these, okay? All right, so now we wait. I'm just watching the charts right now. Baba is rallying. The VIX is trying to push higher. Markets are still rallying. So when the VIX and the markets are pushing the same way, the VIX tends to win. But it's not really pushing, but it's trying to create green candles instead of red ones. All right, so NVIDIA's going. Shopify is trying to pull a little reversal here or something. Let's see what it wants to do. There goes NVIDIA. Come on, Shop. Come on. All right, NVIDIA's doing well. So I'm going to let it be. Let me switch over to the one that's most at risk. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to Shopify. Keep an eye on that one. And then create closing orders. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and replace, okay? And just be ready for anything here. All right, there goes NVIDIA. All right, Shopify RSI on the 10-minute is below 20. It's at 12.8. And so is NVIDIA. Let's see. Let's add NVIDIA to this list here, just so that I can keep a quick eye on this RSI. All right, we have 703, and it's at 4. All right, both of them are pretty low on the 10-minute. So a reversal could be coming here. So I gotta keep a close eye on these. So let me go back to NVIDIA. We're up over $200 already for the day. So there goes, we're definitely over our 1%, which is only $12, honestly, guys. So honestly, even if you're growing at 1 to 2% every single day you're growing by 1 to 2%, it makes a huge difference as long as you're continually doing that. And most of the time, like I'm showing you here, it's going to be bigger than 1 to 2%. So that way, when you do lose, if you lose and you hit that 1.5%, just be done for the day. There's no need to keep pushing it. You know what I mean? Just keep your account growing, even if it's a little at a time. A little at a time. And again, I'm not getting out here, even though I'm well above, because I have targets set. So I have to obey the plan. Because at the end of the day, when I have these targets set at, my targets to my stops are normally 3 to 5 times my winners compared to my losers. So my losers are going to be need to be 3 to 5 times as many losers as I'm gonna need winners. I'm sorry. I'm gonna need 3 to 5 losers to take out my winners. That's the plan. So that's why my targets are a little bit further out compared to my stops, because I want my losers to be small, so that when I do lose, they require a lot more of them to take out my winners, and that's all it is. So as you can see here, it's just a matter of being patient now, and that's what I'm watching. I'm watching my charts. I'm sticking to the charts. I'm watching the charts more than I'm watching the money. It's cool to see that your money is growing, but you need to focus on the chart because you're trading charts. We're trading a specific pattern, so that's what we're following. We're watching the charts. So there goes Shopify. Shopify is about to hit this 50 MA. Normally, if I would have been able to layer in, I'm not going to add to these because I only have the 3-day trades on this cash account. I'm just going to do one on each, okay? Because I know what I'm risking already based on what I put into the trade. So I know I'm going to cut those short sooner in the event of a reversal. But I don't want to, normally I would have layered into this on this second candle and then possibly taken some at this 50 MA, followed by this target, followed by the next target. So this is where we are. Normally here too, you can follow these down to around 10:30, 10:40 Eastern time. So about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes after the market opens is when you can expect the markets to start setting up those reversals. And that's pretty much it. All right, Shopify hit our target. All right, so Shopify, as you guys saw there, it actually kept bringing my limit order up, which is kind of annoying. I really don't like it when it does that. And I try to push it down because I do want it to hit my pivot. I want to get out at the pivot, not before the pivot. So it's kind of annoying. I'm not going to get back in now. It's already late. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's still going. It's still going. No, don't chase it. Don't do the FOMO. Don't do any of that. So far, we're at $1,600. Nvidia's up 127. Let's go ahead and replace this order. I'm probably just going to call it a day here. We have a nice, decent profit. That's fine. Let me see. We got everything coming down. We got the VIX rallying. The tick came down below 0. So what are we looking at here? I'm looking at the markets now. The markets pulled a hard reversal. VIX is going higher. So let's see what the markets want to do here. It's supporting my overall position here, so I'm comfortable. So let me go ahead and switch over this chart to Nvidia. 10-minute. Let me switch this one over to the 30-minute. Let me see what I'm looking at here. Let me get an overall picture of what I'm looking at here. All right, so solid 30-minute candle. 10-minute candles are still solid. I'm going to push this order down a little bit more to the pivot. Let's see if we can get it down at $6. All right. Again, I'm going to keep my hands on the trigger. Cancel replace order, just in case I gotta get out. Basically, what I'm looking at now, I got it at 313. I'm not gonna let this come down below $4. If it does, I'm gonna get out. Right now, I'm just going to follow it along with the plan. So we're gonna follow it along based on the 30-minute highs, but in this case, I'm not gonna go above 171.83. I'm gonna follow it down from this point down, but also I'm gonna be using here this mid stop, basically based on where I got in, because right now I'm not going to give back what I've gained for the day. It's no point in doing that at this point. And again, the account is smaller, so I have to manage it a little bit different than a normal account. So the point and the goal is to grow every single day. Keep your account growing. That's all that matters. If you're making $100 to $200 to $300 every single day, it's a lot better than making 1,000, then losing 200, then losing 300, then making 200, then making 300, then losing 700. It's no point. Just keep growing. If you keep growing a little bit at a time, this will work out significantly better. So let's just keep watching these charts and see what happens here next. So we got another 10-minute candle building. Let's see if NVIDIA is able to break down through this 50 MA on the 10-minute. And now we wait. All right, let me go down to a lower time frame just to see if there's any divergence. We have RSI on the 10-minute at 30. On the daily, it's above 90, so a move lower for tomorrow is probably highly expected. Let me take a look at the daily chart. Patience is key here. Once you're winning, you have to be patient, you know. Barber's box on NVIDIA on the breakout. On the long side on the daily. All right, so we have a lot of black candles being formed today so far. Shopify reversing. Everything is kind of starting to set up some form of green candles here. On the 1 minute, we have a positive divergence on the RSI. We have the new Darvas being set up here. Let's see what it decides to do. So again, I'm keeping an eye on multiple things here. I'm looking at my charts. I'm looking at my current value.
Your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
I may just cut it. Again, normally I'd be patient and hold these. I may have taken some profits here for some if I would have layered in. But again, I'm trying to grow this account, you know, to 100,000. So I gotta keep an eye on it, keep my hand on the trigger, and that's it. Follow my plan. So here we go. It's at 405. If it doesn't reverse from here, I'm just gonna take my profits and call it a day, guys. All right. See how the values change, even though the chart pushed higher. It's weird the way these things work sometimes. But we got the VIX now heading lower. The tick is still pushing lower. The markets are near their pivots and trying to pull a bounce maneuver here on the E-minis. So let's see what the rest of the day is going to look like here. But I may not be around for the rest of the day. I just want to collect my money and be done. So let's see.
Your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
All right, the VIX is resuming the move upwards. Very strong push. And when the markets and the VIX go in the same direction, the markets are coming down. So let's see. I don't know if you noticed this, but my limit order just got pushed up above the pivot. It's pulling it up. So it's saying it's going to be a little bit closer than it was before to hit my limit. And if it pushes down strong with a little bit of momentum here, it'll bring this up probably to 168. So I may need to adjust my exit time or my limit order one more time.
Your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
All right, there goes the tick. Trying to push down to minus 500. Let's see. The VIX is pushing hard. The ticket's pushing hard. This is why I keep an eye on these two primarily. The other ones, I just want to see alerts just so that I can have an idea of what's happening behind the scenes, but I don't want to actively watch them. I only want to watch them maybe where they close for the day and things like that, so like the trend, the ad, etc., etc. But these two are primarily, like, you have to have these up on your charts. These are key. I want to see also the market. I'm not trading these actively. I'm just watching what the markets are doing overall. And you notice that I have the same one here. E-minutes and S&P is basically the same thing, except that they have different pivots. These are the futures. This is the active market. And I want to see because they have different pivots. And sometimes you'll notice all of these pausing. And you're like, why is this thing stopping in the middle of nowhere? And it's usually because one of the other ones is probably pausing at their pivot. So as you can see here, the E-minis are approaching their pivots. These guys will probably pause somewhere in between before they reach their pivots, unless the E-minis just completely obliterate that pivot. So that's something I've noticed personally in my experience, and that's why I have it like that. All right.
Your price is way too high, you need to cut it.
On the 10-minute candle, I do want to see a continued move lower here, or I may take a time stop and just get out based on time. So it's taking a while. The next 30-minute candle should be, it could potentially be a green candle based on where this RSI is. So this may be problematic, and I may need to just get out of here. So if this doesn't break down here, now I may just take my leave before the close of the candle in the next 3 minutes. Just because, yes, it could potentially keep going, but at the same time, based on where the RSI is, it's almost guaranteed that the next candle, green candle, may be a green candle, even if it stays around this area. So I may just call it quits here so that I can lock in my gains, and that's it. So yeah, I think I'll do that. Oh, and it broke down below my stop anyway. Here we go. Let me put it at 415. Let me see if I can get a fill. Now, if not, I'll come back and just take it where it is. I still think it'll hit my target here, but it's just not worth the risk. Again, the goal is to grow the account every single day. So why bother? You know what? Speaking of which, let me just take my profits and call it a day, guys. $300 a day is not a bad day in my books. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this was helpful. So as you can see, my target is probably still going to be hit based on the 10-minute and 30-minute charts, based on what the markets are doing overall. But if they are going to reverse from here, you know, they may reverse. So let me take my profits and call it a day and reassess the situation. I don't want to get caught on a reversal, on a hard reversal, because they could potentially do that. You know, they could potentially give us a massive hard reversal here, because the trend is telling us that the markets want to increase. You know, the trend is consistently hitting the 0.6 level, and with the trend, it's contrarian. So the trend, when it goes down, means the markets want to go higher, or advancing issues, declining issues. It's just, you got to look it up and kind of go over and see it so you can understand it. But basically, when it goes down, the markets may have a tendency to go up. But again, this is why we match everything together. I want to see what the VIX is doing. I want to see what the tick is doing. So as you can see here, it keeps, it opened below 0.6, and now it's trying to push lower again. So this is the initial push lower. See how it rose and giving us the bearish initial move lower, and now it's going down for the initial continued move higher. That's kind of what we are looking for here. So now that we have these reversal patterns going, we could potentially put in a trade going in the opposite direction here. So let's see if we have SPY. That's a beautiful pattern being formed here. The markets have the same pattern. Let's see if we can put one more trade in, and let's see if we can do SPY. And this will be a quick play, guys. We already hit our goal for the day. There's really no need to keep messing around. All right, we have this beautiful reversal pattern here. RSI, we got negative divergence still. I don't like it. If it breaks this 50 MA, maybe. I still see the markets pushing to the initial targets. All right, we're gonna call it quits here, guys, for day two. We hit our goal, more than exceeded our goal, so we're gonna call it a day. $312 in profit, not a bad day at all. So let's go back and take a look at NVIDIA. $52, and Shopify, $260. I call that a successful day, and with that, we'll leave it right there.